Check.
Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the sound holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of new. Oh, na 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 na. That I have lost my old friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. You're afraid, you're feeling alone. Time and space can never unfold. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghost-stream embrace can only mean tears. And I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back for lands of blue. I'm afraid what might be true, that I might never come back again. Seems to me that I've lost my way. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost one long summer day. I must be back, but before it's too late. Before it's too late. Someone to take me down at night. Someone to make my day. New revelation fills my soul. Oh, I can waste away. You distracting my attention. You're all that's on my mind. You not looking for perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone I need to taste your life again. I need a rendezvous. New revelation just fill my soul. Beginning and ends with you. Distracting my attention. You're all that's on my mind. You not looking for perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do, yeah. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone else, yeah. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do, yeah. She knows that nothing feels sweeter than someone else. Yeah, alone and free, buddy, that I did love with you, yeah. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone else. Yeah, 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 you. Oh, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
We are here.
Are we live?
We are live. We are live. We made it, and we are here. And I've got to figure out how to get this out of my hearing because it's blowing you guys away. But I'm gonna just tear it down. But we are back. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to everybody. We got a lot of people on. We got 24 people that are spending their Wednesday night hanging out with us again. It's a wonderful thing to be back. We were way too long, and
Wait, what did you just say? You said what did you say? It's way too long to be black. What?
To be back.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure.
Oh, God, here we go, and it begins already.
I missed you guys.
Yes, absolutely, man. This is like a little family we've made here, and it's it's unfortunate, but it looks like our next vacation is going to be in sometime in October because I'm going to be visiting Eric and Sean Nielsen and Iron Maiden and Rush and Ron Breacher and Peter Pruitt. so it's going to be a long kind of vacation. So who won the Eagle? Kevin I forgot his last name. Amend Kevin, really nice guy. He has been he's a viewer, he's a watcher, and he called up myself and Tom Bramwell to say thank you and what to do and all that kind of stuff. So pretty cool.
I'm assuming he got it, right?
Oh yeah, he got it. We have two giveaways tonight that we're giving away. We got, because we didn't do this before we went on break, the Optolong 2-inch LPro.
Okay. And the calendar.
And the lovely calendar that was hidden in the bottom of the boxes. And if you're really lucky, you might get a filter wrench. So just you might get that. And as promised by author Charles Bracken, his autograph version, "Wishing You Clear Skies," from Charles Bracken, the Deep Sky Imaging Primer, is also going to be on the giveaway list tonight. So nice. All right, so let's again. We got to talk about our sponsors.
Party over here, party at Eric's. That's right. Come on, everybody.
Oh yeah, and if you're in Canada on the way in late October, going to be swinging up there too. So got to go see Rush.
To the shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think my mic is way too hot, but
no, you're fine.
Yeah, maybe it's just too hot in my cans. There we go. I'll lower it. All right. So let's see if I could do this without screwing this up. And here we go. And next slide. There we go. Beautiful. So we got some sponsors, of course, and we got to say, give them all a shout out because without them, we would not be able to give away these giveaways. So thank you to Woodland Hills Cameron Telescopes at our main sequence level. We give away a $50 gift certificate to them, I think, almost every month. So and plus, like I said at the beginning of the year, we're saving up some money for a semi-decent, semi-fabulous prize, which I got to go knocking on Farah's door pretty soon to get that set up. But we'll see what we can work out there. And to our Red Giant level, we got Prima Luce Lab. Again, somebody already asked about the Eagle. Hello, Newman. And we got Camera Concepts, who gives away gift certificates as well. And Optolong, we're doing a giveaway tonight. And you can't see me, I'm waving this, but I'm waving the 2-inch. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So we got two spins of the wheel tonight since we've been away so long. Also, we have at our Supergiant level who we give away classes, like unbelievable amounts of classes for Masters of PixInsight. And if you don't know what that is, they give out demos and live classes on how to process how to process your raw data on PixInsight, and IP4AP, who not only does PixInsight as well, but they also have a lot of great tutorials regarding Photoshop. So definitely check out the both of them. We're giving away classes to Masters of PixInsight and yearly subscriptions to IP4AP. So thank you to all of our sponsors. And of course, we can't do any of this without our listeners, watchers, and all of that. So thank you to our Black Hole members, John, Bob. No, go back. Where's back? Last slide. There we go. Black Hole members, John, Bob, Charity, and Sean. I still got to figure out we got to get together and what we're going to do for these Black Hole members, because they're spending anywhere from $25 to $50 a month just helping us out and making the channel better. So we got to figure out what we're going to do for them, because we got to raise the perk for them, I think. So and our Red Giant members keeps on growing. We got one more, hot Carl, but I think that's another person that actually is another member under another name, because I noticed the name. I think that's Dan K. Dan K Solo. I could be wrong, but thank you to all of our Red Giant members, our main sequence members. It just keeps on growing. Unbelievable amount of people that are helping us out and making sure that we are on every week, and making sure that we all make more videos to put up there. And if you want to join us on Patreon and help us and help the channel and help us get better giveaways, join us on our Patreon, and the link's in the description below on the YouTube channel. And thank you also to our Protostar members, Kieran and Greg. Thanks, guys. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We got almost 30 people watching for our first one back. And we got guest stars coming. Next Wednesday, right here at 9 p.m., we're going to have Astronomolly, Molly Wakeling here. She's going to be giving us, I believe she's giving us a rundown on some of the James Webb stuff. And she's in the middle of doing her PhD and everything. So she's always interesting to listen to. So it's going to be great to have her. September 16th, we have Nico Carver coming on from Nebula Photos. Huge YouTube watcher, great astrophotographer also. Both of them are great. And he's going to be on September 16th. So that's a month later. And then sometime in the fourth quarter, we are going to have Astropalooza. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I might do it a little bit differently. It may be a little bit longer than an Astro Chat. I'm trying to figure out some things. But guests include so far Sean Nielsen, Amy Little, Molly Wakeling, Nico Carver. And I have 4 more people. I don't want to say anything. I got 4 more people on the list that I have feelers out for. So I'm waiting for a response from that. And again, on our social media platforms, please join us on our Patreon, join us on Discord, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. So thank you, everybody, for listening to me for the past 6 minutes. And we are going to go back to everybody. And we are online and we are done. So thank you so much. Josh is clapping. Thank you. It's awesome to be back. And we got some catching up to do because, I mean, so free for all here right now. So what's everybody up to? Because I have not I swear, I don't think I spoke to Eric once through this entire, vocally. Maybe a little text, but I don't think I was broken. I even texted. I even spoke to Scott once. I haven't even spoke to Eric. Pete, I speak to twice or 3 times, maybe 4 times a day. So, but start with Eric. What you been up to? How's the family? How's everything?
Dude, I was cracking up off your live streams from Sherry. Oh my God! How could they do that?
I don't know.
That would, I mean, you are an internationally recognized dark sky site, and you're gonna shut things down for everybody who goes there for astronomy and astrophotography, and for what?
Well,
Well,
so let's just preface something here. I did put a follow-up. I put out a recap, I think this morning on YouTube.
Okay. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, so it blew me away. So apparently people watch our YouTube channel. I mean, people actually watch things. And not only do people watch them, but the Parks and Recreation of Pennsylvania office watches it too.
No way.
So you know, I'm pro AstroWorld and all this kind of stuff. So when I go to places, I got flags and I got flyers, and I try and talk to people about AstroWorld or whatever. So I left a banner that I had for the last. I threw that up on the table. Today, as we're packing up, guess who rolls up? Officer Morgan from the Parks and Recreation, who runs Cherry Springs. And so he's like, "Yeah, I saw your video. You looked a little mad." I said, "Well, yeah, and you know what? If you want to know a little bit more about it, the Woodsman show that's there every year, he gave me a lot of background on it's been going on for 70 years. Wow. Okay. And it's a big part of the community in that area. So I probably kind of put it down quite a bit, I guess, to put it nicely. But it is big for the community, and I didn't mean to disparage it. And I use that word disparage a lot in the video because I did do a lot of mouthing. It's a real big part of the community, and and Officer Morgan gave me a lot of, not a slack. He was a really nice guy. He was smiling. He was just like, he was like, "Yeah, I can't believe," So I said, "Listen, I'll make it right. I'll put out a good promo for Cherry Springs, because Cherry Springs is, at least in the Northeast, the premier place to go for dark skies. Bortle 3 or lower, and it's really nice. So anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to ramble,
but just the rant, man. Just the rant was just classic. That was I don't know, Scott, if you or Pete, if you guys watched YouTube and watched his rant, but on Cherry Springs. But it was it was just one of the funniest things that I had seen in a while.
I was so mad. I was so mad.
I know you were. I know.
There's another video out there.
He's snapping while he's driving. He's snapping on these people. And oh man. I know, you know what? You were just throwing them so much shade. I was just like, wow, but okay.
And that's what I do. I mean, I'm gonna boost you up a little bit, Eric. Apparently you're a little low on yeah, you're maxed here. You need to raise your level up a little bit, if you could.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can't raise you anymore.
All right, no problem.
Thank you, Scott.
Let's see here.
A little more.
Nope, that's not it. What the heck? All right,
too much stuff.
Too much stuff. Yeah, there's just way too much stuff. And okay, I see why.
There you go.
Right.
Better.
Is that any? Okay, how's that?
Yeah, you're in the yellow. I think that's a little better. Maybe even a little bit more.
A little better.
More.
Okay. A little more there. All right. let's give it a little bit more of a boost here.
And
Any
you're
better?
actually really far away from your mic too. So
I'm gonna push. I'm gonna pull this guy a little bit closer. So
You got to get alive like this.
So yeah.
okay.
Okay. I think we're fine.
So yeah, so there's another rant out there regarding another trip to Staunton River Star Party about 4 years ago. Me and Cosmic Charlie driving to Staunton River in Virginia. So it's about 9-hour drive for me.
Right.
Yeah, so we're driving down, and he's got his big Suburban truck, and and I'm like, what's that smell? What is that? It smells like gas. What is that? And we pull over on 95, and we see there's a hole in the gas tank. So every about 200 miles, we need to fill up the gas tank because we're dripping freaking. You could probably lit a long fire from Long Island all the way to Staunton, Virginia. And because we would, and there's a rant on there, but everything is smelling. And then, after driving 7.5 hours, we're almost there. I get a phone call from my buddy Dennis Wild, who lives down there, who is going down there. He calls me up and says, "Hey, Dan, I hope you're not on your way down here." He's like, "Why?" I was like, "Yeah, that hurricane, yeah, it came right through Staunton River and it ripped up the whole field. so you may as well just turn back." So there's a rant at me about smelling like gas. 17 hours driving in one day. It was like out of control. We literally turned around, but it was bad.
Geez.
It was bad.
Oh man, that's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as for me, let's see. I've been working on the FLT 91, and I've been working also on the video. I've got to redo it because it turned out there were some issues with my equipment, and so I've got to start that over again, which is really frustrating because here you are. And it was just so crazy because here I am. I've got my camera, and I do a lot of things off of my iPad or my iPhone. So I was using my iPad, and all of a sudden, the recording just stops for no apparent reason, and it just kept doing that over and over. So here I am. Everything's going great, but I'm giving good content, and all of a sudden, I'm talking for like 20 minutes, and it kills it like after the first 5. It just stops recording. So I just kept getting ticked off. So there was that. But no, I've got the FLT 91 going. I'm trying to get some work done on as far as my back focus because I'm still getting elongation at my corners, even with my flattener and even with the spacing. So turns out I had to get an adapter. There's an adapter for the flattener that you need to purchase for the FLT 91 that adds on a bit of extra spacing to it, so you can still keep the 5mm, but it's a little bit longer. And it was only about $50 or something like that. But it's just another one of this. It's just another thing to buy.
This is not to be confused with the extension that you actually had to take out of the FLT 91 for everything to work.
Yeah, this is totally different. So, thanks. So I'm right now. I've got the and I was having and I started also experimenting a lot with Nina.
Yeah, how's it going?
It was 1 minute it's working really well. 1 minute it's working really poorly with the EAF, with the autofocusing. And another crazy thing with the autofocuser, the EAF, for some reason, it would, after a session, and say I would cover it up, walk away, and there are times where I would just leave it on, right? I would just shut the camera off, shut the cooler off, leave everything else going, not, I don't care, and just cover it up and go to work or something. And I came home and Robin was telling me, your telescope is beeping like crazy. And I'm like, what? Yeah, she said it's just beeping. And so I go out there, and sure enough, under the telegizmos, it's just this wailing of a beep. And the focus tube, the EAF, actually extended out the focus tube to max.
Oh my God.
For some reason. And it just kept blaring. And I would end up having to pull, either the USB cable or the thermostat cable to get it to stop. And I would put it right back into focus. And all of a sudden, after I put it back into focus and I hook everything back up for the evening and I'm ready to go and I'm checking things out and everything looks fine. And within about 10 minutes, it starts extending itself again. And
That's crazy.
I had no idea. Yeah, it was weird. I have no idea why.
It's got. Are you using the advanced sequencer?
No, this was either when I was using Nina or the ASI Air. It didn't matter. The EAF just extend.
That's not good.
We'll just extend out the focus tube. And so I just decided to heck with it, and I started pulling things out again. And I got to the point where I just, I'm just going to shut it off every day and just leave it alone until I'm ready to do a session. So I still haven't gotten to the root cause of it yet, but I'm just shutting the ASI Air off and just leaving it alone until I need to fire it up.
I was actually going to say that, Mike. You may want to. They have a firmware upgrade.
They have a firmware, and I flashed it. I did.
And you did.
Actually, I have. It's 1.9.3.
Yeah, I don't know what the number is.
Yeah, I think it's the latest version. And I flashed it, and this happened after I flashed it.
Wow.
This happened after I did the firmware upgrade. So that was. Yeah, I'm saying, get a real focuser.
Those damn box focusers. That doesn't.
Box focusers, EAFs, focus cubes, all those, whatever. Get a moonlight.
Yeah, right. But I mean, focusers can be funny. Focusers can be funny.
They can definitely be funny because even right now, the Nina was working really well because I finally got the guiding going, and then I was doing the focusing, and it was going fairly well. Taking Sean's advice, and then all of a sudden, within a few days after that, it went haywire again. And so, as far as the EAF, as far as the focusing, it wouldn't autofocus properly. It wouldn't give me my curves like it did the previous nights. So, I went back to the ESI, to the Air for right now. I was like, dude, I'm wasting too much time. We had really nice nights, and I was missing out, and so I just went there, and it was just one of those things. But I'm actually learning a lot, especially about the system. Even using my 294 mono, I tried out because you can, with the 294 mono, you can go to bin 1, which it reduces your pixel size down to 2.3.
Yep.
And you get a higher resolution, but you actually go down a bit to 12-bit instead of 14. It drops down to 12. And I was trying it out with the FLT91, thinking, a shorter focal length, I should get some really decent resolution and stuff like that. But my skies, man, they're just horrible. So I ended up trashing that in my like 3 days worth of work because it was just horrible. Yeah, and now I'm actually trying bin 3 because with all of my my stars, their full weight half measure was coming out to be either between 5 and 6, so my seeing was really bad.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying bin 3, which actually gets me to about a 2.3 pixel size.
Okay.
So not too far away from actually doing undersampling. So, but
all right.
But yeah, you know, just tweaking things, just tweaking and working.
You want to see something cool?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, can you guys can't see that? Can you see that?
Wow, no, that's a nice Milky Way shot.
So now take into effect that this is a 30-second untracked iPhone photo.
See, that's pretty impressive because I actually did, you know, something very similar on my iPhone. I did like a 30-second, you know, just screwing around when I was in New Mexico, and I ended up getting a Milky Way, which actually didn't look too half bad.
No, I was doing some videos when I was up in Cherry Springs, so I had the iPhone holder. So I just threw it up on the tripod, non-tracking, threw it up on a tripod, and for some reason I couldn't get it to do 10 seconds. Every time I moved it to 10 seconds, it went back to 30. So I said, the hell with it. So I just did 30. And that's what I got for a 30-second shot of just an iPhone untracked, throwing it up there. That's fine.
Okay.
You know?
No, that's nice. That's really nice. Especially for an iPhone. They're getting better. These cameras on these phones are getting better and better. So
let me see if I can find.
Yeah. So Scott, did you do any imaging? Did you finally get the beast out and do any imaging?
I've been messing around with the scope and such. I got it out and was pointing at it up at the sky, getting some things, but I haven't actually captured anything worth sharing yet. So I spent the better part of a week in Clearwater. So
hanging out with the family, nothing wrong with that. What about you, Pete? Just been putting stuff together for customers, or did you do anything fun for yourself?
Well, unfortunately, we've got the monsoon moisture coming up here, so we get these pop-up thunderstorms, and so every night there's just these clouds kind of rolling by. And today's the first day in 10 days we have not had any clouds, but I'm on the show tonight, so I can't reach.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still messing around with that Optech focuser. So, you know, I'm still messing with the step size on it for the AP. I haven't gotten really full. I haven't gotten a real first light yet. But I expect to get it within the next week or two. I mean, I can't see it taking any longer. Here's another shot that I'm playing with. I know I showed this before a little bit, but this is with a little bit more data. Where is it? This is. There we go.
Now, while Dan's looking that up, hey Pete, speaking of monsoon season, how far east does it head? Does it stop? You know, maybe just past New Mexico, or does it? You know, do you know if it gets into Colorado, or to stop close to Kansas or Nebraska, rather, anything like that, as far as how far it goes east?
What was interesting is about a week to 10 days ago, it was coming up to the Gulf of Mexico. They got basically so much rain in Nevada that a lot of the casinos were flooded. Death Valley got the most rain in one day that it's ever had in over 100 years. They had like 60 cars just completely flooded. They're talking about rescuing people out of Death Valley. I mean, that's unusual for August.
Wow.
And then people in Arizona have just been inundated. So what's been happening? It's just been, we've got it kind of rotates in a counterclockwise position. And what happens is the moisture comes up and it kind of hits the lee side or the western side of the Sierras, and it gets these beautiful pop-up thunderheads with the anvil tops. And now today it's been kind of moving off towards more of Nevada and heading over to that Colorado area. So they say over the next couple of days we're going to be relatively clear, but we got full moon now, and so we're heading back in next week. They say Tuesday, Wednesday we're going to get more of these pop-up thunderstorms. So it's typically what happens up here in the foothills in August. I know Mark has been kind of, probably just going through withdrawal because he's probably had monsoon clouds for like the last week to 10 days, right, Mark?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably so. I actually saw Jason. He was actually doing some storm chasing a little bit, and lightning, tracking down and catching lightning shots.
Well, it was amazing seeing the images. I mean, they were having it on the national news. Death Valley in August got the wettest day on record. I mean, it's just amazing.
Wow.
That's it was just the most they ever had on record.
Wow.
So anyway, long story short, I finished putting the Telview here together, and I've got everything all automated. So I'm just waiting for a night to get out there and just to start kind of just testing it all out.
Nice. That's gonna be good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
there was a question that somebody, Quattro, wasn't there a bin calculator online to find out what you need for proper sampling? Yeah, and I've used it's on astronomy.tools, and that's what I was ended up using and referring back to after doing my subframe calculations in PixInsight, and everything just kept showing up. My full weight half measures, they were all in either the 5s or 6s or higher.
Wow.
Even at bin 1. So I decided let's just do some binning and see how it works out. So right now I'm just tinkering around, and I'm binning. I'm doing a binning at 3 by 3, and chasing the Wizard Nebula.
Nice.
So yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
That's what I'm working on now.
Okay. Oh, all right.
So I'm still messing with it. I'm just messing with the process a little bit.
Right.
But
Sean just put out, I was tinkering around with a new process that Sean Nielsen was doing for noise reduction after stretching, instead of using so I was tinkering around with that a little bit. I haven't gotten far into it because I just realized that the data was just so trashed that it wasn't worth it. That wasn't worth it, but I'd like to go back into it and take a look see. But if any of you guys are looking for a different way to do noise reduction and haven't seen Sean's video, go to Visible Dark on YouTube or visibledark.ca and check it out. So it looks pretty interesting because it's all done when it's not when it's actually gone to nonlinear. So
nice.
And he's got all this, and he's got all the settings. I think he says too within multi-scale transformer, MLT rather, multilinear transform.
Multi-scale linear transform.
Yep.
Yeah, and star reduction too. Yep, he's got both of them. As a matter of fact, his video on deconvolution is in my favorites. So
yes, yes, I use that one, especially now that I'm going. I'm doing all of this. I'm working on mono. I'm doing a lot of decon now, and I'm learning a lot, just off of his videos. And I bookmarked that one as well, just to go back so I can remember, the steps and keep refreshing my memory on the steps, because it is a process. And I tried the easy decon.
Nah.
And I did not like it.
No, I didn't like it either.
So then I ended up going back, to Sean's method, and that's the one I've been using. Even before I tried Easy Decon, I was just using that one, and I've even done that on one-shot color images. I would extract, the luminance,
yep.
and then do a decon and then throw it back on there, and it worked really nicely, even with my one-shot color data. So
makes a big difference. It does.
It does, especially it really made my helped make my stars look a lot tighter.
Yeah, well, when you extract that luminance and make a synthetic luminance from your color data, and just go all the way up to and process like luminance, and do the whole thing, do the deconvolution, do the stretching, do the cropping, do all your all your curves, do everything, and then you plop it back in, and all of a sudden you get all that detail back into your RGB when you put it back in. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I'm tinkering around a lot more with PixInsight. I'm still doing a lot with APP. I'll do a lot of my integrations and stuff with APP, but I wanted to try, because the new updated weighted batch pre-processing came out a while back, so I wanted to tinker around and give that a go, and that worked out just fine. So no, it was pretty good.
Yeah, we lost Scott. Scott internet crashed. So
oh gosh.
But there was a question that Tarek had about star removal. I guess it's star removal versus star removal and noise reduction.
Yeah. What do you suggest? I have StarNet and Exterminator. For star removal, I mean, I've heard really good things about Star Exterminator.
That's all I've been using is Star Exterminator. I stopped using StarNet. Even though StarNet, I think StarNet 2 just came out with another patch to stop some of the the defects, the star defects that it has left in the background for the biggest stars. But I just in case anybody wants to know, if you don't have Star Exterminator or if you don't have Noise Exterminator, go on our website and sign up for the 2 plugins that we got going on. We're going to be doing that, I think, next month. That's going to be cool.
Can I make a shout out? We have a guest online called Dale, and I'm going to make a suggestion. Dale, submit your soap bubble image to the Astro Picture of the Week here. I think people will really need to see that. This is a spectacular image that Dale has done on the soap bubble, and it is really just a remarkable image. So and you can maybe kind of just post how Dale can go ahead and submit that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So
all you gotta do is go to astroworldweb.com, click on picture of the week right on the top, and there's a link right to the Google Drive. You can just drop it right in there. You could do JPEG. I know it stinks, but it makes it easier to put it on the web. But if you could just drop it in JPEG, that's fine.
Okay, so it looks like Dale's already done it, but I mean, it's it's really a spectacular image.
Okay, good. So I mean, we got. Let's see. I know. So I think the picture of the week issue on the web is finally been crushed by a new webmaster. So it looks like that the picture of the week page itself was set to cache, and whenever anybody went back to the page, it would just load up whatever they saw before. So it was an issue with the voting. It was an issue with pictures going up. So I think it's been crushed. I'm hoping that worked out. So So,
Good.
decom video. Yeah, decom video is visible dark. Yep.
Yes. Yep. Visible dark. Yeah, Dale. APP for integration, it's really, really good. Even for some preliminary processing, such as for light pollution or background calibration. It seems to be it works out really, really well. I've used APP for a couple years now, and now I've kind of moved between both APP in the start and then PixInsight after my integration, um, and my background extraction or my light pollution removal. Then I'll go into PixInsight to go ahead and do either color calibration or photometric color calibration and everything, depending on if it's a one shot, if I'm doing one shot or mono, and then go down my workflow that way within PixInsight. But there's still a lot of things that I'm still hoping that APP and Mabula would do, and especially when it comes to, we've all asked about noise reduction, and he did a star reduction add-on and module for APP, AstroPixel Processor, but he hasn't done anything in regards to noise reduction, which is one of the things that I know a lot of his customers have been asking about.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are using that type of methodology in processing by using APP and then going into PixInsight, and then going even another step further by using an Adobe suite to finish things up. I am more of a push here dummy guy, so I will just I have a problem enough just learning one piece of software. I'm just going to stick with PixInsight for now and deal with that. There's enough there. Dale asked, what version of APP are you using?
I'm using version 2.0. Okay. Yep, which is their latest version.
Hey, Ernie.
So it seems so. I like it. He kind of broke everything apart in a way, which was kind of interesting. But I do like it. Hey, Ernie. Yeah, the beta. Yep.
So APP is definitely an interesting. From what I played around with it a little bit. I have a question. Ask or not? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, ask away, Tarek. Go ahead. From what I've noticed about APP and its pre-processing, it's nice. It's very user friendly, and you go right through the numbered tabs, and you just go right through the whole thing. What was the one thing that was missing? I think you might have said it. I think you just said it. The noise reduction.
Noise reduction.
So that kind of annoys me a little bit that it doesn't have anything like that. Yes. But there's nothing stopping you from jumping platforms. Jumping from APP to PixInsight back to APP, go to GIMP, or just go to Deep Sky Stacker and then APP. You could do a whole bunch of stuff and mess around. Just because Eric uses APP, I use PixInsight, and I'm not even sure what you use, Pete, as far as process.
Just APP and Photoshop, really.
APP and Photoshop.
You use APP as well? Okay.
You got to really kind of figure out what works for you as the imager, because what works for any one of us may not work for you. So, just be open to other things. Everyone usually starts off with something free, like Deep Sky Stacker, and moving to GIMP and stuff like that, and then going up to APP or Nebulosity or something like that. there's a natural progression to
Yes.
the software, and you keep on progressing until you feel that this program does enough for you, and that's it.
Right.
And there's so many great programs out there. Case in point, we had Russell on. Russell's got some great third-party algorithms. Astro Annie has got some great third-party programs that are super to you. I mean, like you, Dan, you can sit there and spend hours and hours and hours and just obsess over this. But I tell you what, I'm not looking for an APOD or an APOW. I can go ahead within about maybe 45 minutes at the most. That's it. I'm done. Maybe come back a couple of days later and say, okay, maybe I might just want to clean it up. But to sit there and obsess over this thing for 2.5, 3, 4 days, no, that's
and that's I'm the same way, there, Pete, because even before I really started getting deeper into Pix Insight, my normal routine was APP, and then do what I can within, as far as I did all my pre and as much post as I could in APP. Then I actually went into Lightroom, and Lightroom has a fairly decent noise reduction tool, and as well as saturation tool. So it has a lot of nice little pieces just within Lightroom Classic that I would just finish everything up within Lightroom, which is very, very easy to use in my opinion. And then I would just throw a watermark right there out of Lightroom, build my own little watermark and then kick it out, and it would be done. I could be done with something within an hour or less, just it's going APP after all the integration, and from at the end of integration, when I'm starting my post to the very end of Lightroom, it would take me about an hour. And that's what I like. I mean, I'm like you. I'm not hunting for an APOD or anything like that. I just like kicking out nice looking data that I enjoy, and I just want to get better with my own stuff. So that's all it really is.
Tarek's been bouncing back and forth about recommending a camera for planetary nebula.
A camera itself?
Well, a lot of good follow-up questions have followed that regarding focal length and all of that.
Yeah.
Because you really got to kind of match that up. But planetary nebula, little tiny guys, they're really, really small.
Hopefully.
And you know what? I bet you that a lot of people have actually seen a planetary nebula and mistaken it as a star. So it's true until you actually look at it and you see the fuzziness around it with a long focal length telescope. You may not even know it's a nebula. But there are a lot of planetary nebula are small, but you need the resolution to bring it out.
Now, when you're talking about that resolution, maybe a little bit. Do you maybe help me out a little bit on this? What are we meaning? I mean, I'm assuming you want larger pixels, a camera with slightly larger pixels, perhaps.
Yep.
For one.
Yeah, I would say larger pixels for that because you're going to need just remember, rule of thumb. To me, and Pete's like the genius here. So correct me wrong. Larger focal length, you should have larger pixels. So you don't. So your sampling rate remains good. Now that being said, you're imaging 11th to 15th, 16th, 17th magnitude planetary nebulas. You're going to need a long scope. You're not going to, if you want to try do it with an 8-inch Schmidt, you could try, but I wouldn't.
I mean, definitely you're going to be looking at something in that 1500 millimeter plus range. And really, if you really want to get in deep, you're going to be into that 23 to 2500 millimeter range. And when
Yeah.
you start looking at sampling, now you're absolutely right. You got to look at a much larger pixel size, at least a minimum of a 9 to a 10 micron pixel size camera to be able to get the right sampling. So,
Yeah,
so you're absolutely right.
You have to grab that Teledyne.
Well, yeah, or as I said, you can go 2 by 2 binning. So, I mean, if you need to say like 12, microns, you can do a 6 micron and then just bin 2 by 2.
Yeah.
And once again, 1 by 1, 2 by 2 binning, that's a real good sample rate. 3 by 3, 4 by 4. So when you got to get above 4 by 4 binning, that would tell me that star is really scintillating over a central point focus. And that means you got a lot of upper atmosphere turbulence. So you want to go ahead and have at least 20 adjacent pixels to be able to accommodate that star. So literally, when you get to like 4 by 4 binning, yeah, you might want to just think about either just drinking brandy or just kind of doing visual, because it really does take away from what you're looking at in terms of the resolution. But that's the trade-off that you've got. You've got resolution with smaller pixels, but you're giving up sensitivity. With the larger pixels, you're gaining sensitivity, but you're giving up resolution. So it's kind of a trade-off that you need to get an equal balance.
Somebody was saying that that Doug's been doing planetary nebula with the 165 at 1100 millimeters, and maybe he could get it out there. I'd have to take a look at some of his pictures. I haven't spoken to Doug in about 3 years.
Yeah, so I mean, once again, yeah, you can do it, but I mean, what's your field of view? I mean, are you looking to get in, like say the helix? Are you looking to get into the core? Are you looking down to get into that first layer where the O2 meets the HA? Are you looking to have a wider field of view? I mean, yeah, you can definitely take planetary nebulas. I mean, the helix, yeah, you can definitely do helix with 1,000 millimeter. But as I said, it depends on what it is that you're looking for. If you're looking for detail, yeah, you're going to definitely need a much longer focal length scope, no question.
Absolutely.
Now, one camera that I hope for long focal length telescopes that ZWO converts into a cooled camera, because it's already a planetary camera. It's their newest, their 432 mono planetary camera. I don't know if you guys have seen this camera, but it is a 9 micron pixel camera, and I would love if they could slap a fan, add some tech cooling onto that, because for these long focal length telescopes like the Schmidt Cassegrains, that would be in my opinion, that would be a great combination.
Yeah, I agree, and that's something that we're all waiting for. I know there's another 9 micron cold camera out there. I think QHY has one.
Moravian.
Moravian. Yep.
The C4 16,000. They got the C3. No, the C3 is 3.76, but their C4 16,000 is 9 microns. And that's a really nice, inexpensive prosumer. When I say inexpensive, you're looking with the filter wheel, you're looking around about $7,500.
Yep.
And then you can go higher if you wanted to go. You can go like Teledyne. You're looking now between say 15 to 25 to 35,000. But Moravian has really kind of got that nice little fit with that C4 16,000. It's really right there at 9 microns by 9 microns. And with that, again, you definitely want to go with square filters because of the image circle. You don't want to go with round filters. You want to go with square filters.
Yep. Yeah. There was another question out there. Let's see.
But that new 9 micron filtered ZWO. I mean, it's got a really nice well depth too. I think it's like 90. It's 97,000. I'm looking at it here. 97,000 electrons, and its QE isn't bad either. It's 79%.
I'll take that. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's good. For sure. It's non-cool, Eric.
Yeah, but it's non-cooled. That's the only bummer about it, is that it's non-cooled. I mean, it'll be great once winter hits. Especially here in Illinois, it'd be great.
Yeah, I'm surprised that. I mean, is it an astrophotography camera? Because I'm surprised they made it non-cooled.
Yeah, it's a
It is.
ZWO. It's marketed as a planetary camera.
Yeah, it's marketed as it's one of their smaller hockey puck style cameras.
Okay.
Yeah, they came
Yeah.
out. They came out with in the line. They came out with 3 more uncooled cameras for planetary, high frame rates, big pixels.
Yeah.
You know, and it's only really for planetary for the most part.
Yeah.
A
But I
camera.
think
I
in
guess
the
Al
winter,
is
I think,
asking
correct
for
me
a
if I'm
camera
wrong, man.
recommendation for a 10-inch imaging newt. I guess like a Quattro.
Oh, okay. Tegan, I mean, the 294
Yeah.
works well. Tegan's got a 10-inch Newton. He uses a 294.
Yep, he's been using that for a long time too. He takes awesome photos with it. If you haven't seen him, go check out his Astrobin page. Rocky Mount Astro, I think it is.
Oh, he says not the camera, the Newt.
Oh, the actual nude? Oh, get a Quattro.
Oh, yeah, Quattro.
Get a Quattro.
Sorry. I thought you would. Yeah, I misread that as well. Looking for a Newt to step up to the Rasa. Okay.
Oh well.
Because isn't the Quattro is that like an F3, F3.8 or something?
Yeah, it's pretty low. Yep.
Yeah. So the Newt you're gonna have to get with an ODK. You don't have to get any type of a flattener. So Dan, you're going to be having some fun with that puppy, that ODK 10.
Yeah, it's upstairs. I'm going to be playing with a 10-inch ODK.
Yeah, see is that and RCs are great if you're experienced. If you're new, I wouldn't recommend an RC because they definitely can be a little bit tricky. But I mean, you can definitely grow into an RC. But my recommendation would be to maybe consider like an ODK. Newts are great. Newts are fast. I mean, they're big and bulky, but I tell you what, they're fast. I mean, you're looking at like an f3.5. My God, how do you beat that kind of vocal ratio?
The Quattro is, I think I just read it, it's 3.9, if I remember right.
Yeah.
3.9 at 1,000 millimeters.
I was going to say, it was like a 1,000 millimeter focal length. So that's
you'll need a coma corrector.
Yeah,
yes, you will.
Yeah. But
yes, sir, you will.
No, Ernie, it's ODK, not CDK. ODK is an optimized dial Kirkham.
Yeah.
So a little bit different than a corrected.
Yeah, aren't the ODKs, aren't they a bit easier to collimate compared to like a Ricci or anything
way easier.
Way easier.
Way easier. And surprisingly not that much more expensive either than the CDK counterpart.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so what are the main? Okay, so you have your primary. Is it just collimating your primary and secondary? Do you do anything with the focuser? Anything like that?
Well, I mean, the focuser that they recommend is supposed to be like a feather touch, Starlight Instruments. But the problem with Starlight is that their backlog is 8 months to a year.
Yep.
So I recommend either like a Primalucci or an Optec focuser on the ODKs. But like that ODK 10, it's only like $4,500. They're inexpensive. The only thing about OOUK is that every now and then one of their scopes kind of doesn't get passed by the quality control and it gets missed, and so sometimes their little set screws might be not torqued down, so when you get it, maybe that secondary mirror starts to rattle. So I always say is make sure that if you do get an ODK, make sure when you get it out of the crate you spend some time to make sure that everything is torqued down and tightened up, because that's the one thing about OUK. The quality control can be hit or miss every now and then.
Okay. And for those of you who don't know OOUK, that's Orion Optical UK. And don't confuse it with Orion telescopes. So it's completely different.
And they make ODKs, they make Newtonians. I mean, they've got like a 10-inch, 12-inch, 14-inch, and I think a 16-inch Newtonian. Wow. But it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to play around with it. I literally just picked it up. And you know what I think I got. Oh, I think I got a picture of it here. So,
Look at that, baby.
let's see. Yeah, I never synced, so I don't have it there. So actually, maybe I do. Yeah, I got it. Here you go. So you can't see the telescope, but there you go. That's the ODK. And the funny thing is that the ODK is in the bottom box. That the top box is a dew shield, but the bottom box, it was surprisingly light. I mean, it's carbon fiber, and I get that, but I was able to get that whole box up 13 stairs and put it in the room upstairs, and it's really super light. The telescope itself is like 20 pounds. Not a big deal.
I got to say one thing. They did a nice job of packing that up because they shipped it overseas, so they did a nice job.
Yeah, there was no problems with that. No problems with the shipping. I just got to take it out of the box probably tomorrow and see what's inside.
Let me know how the packaging is on the inside. I'm just kind of curious, Dan, if they did a great job on the packaging on the scope itself.
Well, from what I saw, I did take the wrapper off while I was outside, and I lifted up the top. And there's some form-fitted foam in there on the top and on the sides. I mean, it looks okay. I'll take some pictures when I open it up.
Yeah. I guess we must have lost Scott, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if he's coming back. Is that
the
next giveaway? No.
Yeah. Do you want to do one of the spins right now?
You want to do one of them? Which one you want to do?
Doesn't matter to me. Just whichever one. Just
we can split them up. Sure.
Maybe do one right now and then do one towards the end of the show.
Sounds good to me.
Absolutely.
Do that. All right. So why don't we do the Charles Bracken book?
Okay. Right back.
All right. And look at how many people signed up for the Charles Bracken book. We got 75 entries for the Charles Bracken book.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I don't want to do this without Pete. He's like not in his chair. And I'm hungry again. This diet is killing me. I think it's time for my Jell-O and my low-calorie whipped cream. There you go. All right. As Pete drinks another glass of white wine. But,
absolutely.
But here we go. So we got 75 people for the Charles Bracken book. So
gracious, look cool. How many people.
Yeah. And we still have two other books to give away by him. We got two more signed ones. We got the planner and I forget what the other one's called. But we got two more. So here we go. So here is for the first Charles Bracken book. This is the Deep Sky Imaging Primer. Here we go.
Go for it.
Christopher Setnes. Congratulations, Chris.
Congrats.
Very nice. Let me write that down because I will forget. And of course, I never have any paper anywhere. But congratulations, Chris. I will send that out to you. And I believe Chris is out of the country, if I remember right. But Christopher Setnes. Congratulations, Chris. You got it. And that will be on the way. And what what else is on the way? More shirts. More shirts are on the way.
It's awesome.
I now with all of the donations from Patreon, I was able to get the second run, and now I have a stock.
Nice.
So I have a stock of a little stock of whatever. So I'll be able to get more shirts. I got more shirts, and they're all going out. So there are some people out there, and if you're watching, that I don't have size for: Rob Clayton, Scott C, and that's it. Those two. So, and Lydell Nunn also didn't give me his size, but I've been trying to get in contact with him, and no dice.
Can I make a question? There's a viewer we have called I think it's David Barnett.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, he's a friend of mine from Long Island.
He mentioned something there about an Opposita Stellari RH200 Mark II. Does he have one of those? Because if he does, I've got to ask him a couple of questions.
I don't know if he has one. Well, he runs a really great facility right in northern Long Island called Avalon, and they have a massive amount of telescopes. So let's see.
Yeah, he had typed it in there because I got to ask him.
Yeah, I see that it's in there, and he'll answer in a second.
Okay.
But if not, I could always text him and find out.
Yeah, just ask. Maybe I can talk to him offline because I've got a couple of questions on my Mark I version. I'd like to ask him if he's got one.
Scott C. Scott C, you're on. What's your shirt size? Tell me your shirt size. You're there. But
yeah, and EAF, yeah, I think I got it sorted out, Scott. I think it was a combination of a couple of things. I think it was something fluky with the thermostat, and with my USB cable. So I went ahead and just replaced the USB cable, but so far it's been fine.
Yeah. So you got any projects going yet, or anybody got anything going on?
Like I said, I'm trying to dial in the FLT91 and get the flattener squared away, because like I said, I'm getting some elongation and stuff. So I think I have to move it a little further in as far as the adjustment. But I've been working on I've been working on the Wizard. And I was doing that for my FLT91 review and video. I was working on that one, as well as a dark nebula, LDN 1228.
Okay.
Along with it's LDN 1228 and LBN 552 that are right next to one another. They're both. It's in Cepheus, and if you want to take a look at those on
that's going to be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I've been working on. And
this one here?
Turned out that's the one. Yes, that's the one. And that's the one where I was doing everything at bin 1, and it just turned out horribly. So I trashed everything, and I'm just going to start over again. Because right now is one of the best times to grab this is around August, September timeframe. For a lot of these dark nebulae that are in Cepheus, because you have the Dark Shark out there, of course. There's a few others, LDN 1231 or 1205, I want to say. There's a few others that are out there that like the Rotten Fish, Dark Nebula. That's another one that's out there. And those are, I just love those molecular hydrogen clouds in those dust lanes. So it makes it a lot of fun, and it's really challenging. I like it because it's also challenging, right? Because it's hard to frame those really well because you can't see anything. So you have to trust. So I work off of a lot from Telescopius, dealing with the angles and everything, and then utilizing ASI Air's Sky Atlas, or heck, even Nina you know what? I do like Nina a lot in what it does. I just need to get it dialed in.
Yeah, there was just a Nina question out there too about the three-step polar alignment.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you. I mean, I use Nina exclusively now, and I still use SharpCap for the polar alignment. I still do. And it's just SharpCap to me is so easy. It's so easy with SharpCap. Now, that's to say, I have only played with the three-step polar alignment with my QHY 16.2. And it was dreadfully slow because of the camera, not because of the plugin, because of the camera. And I never went back to it because the download time of that CCD camera was about 13 seconds.
Yeah.
And by the time you got the picture, everything moved again. So by the time, it was a big mess. So you need something that has faster download speeds, like the ASI cameras and the QHY cameras and stuff like that, where you get quick download speeds.
Right.
And then you're fine. But I'm sure that, now that I have a QHY and I'm getting fast download speeds, I'm going to definitely give it another shot. But right now I'm still I'm very comfortable with the way SharpCap does the routine. I'm sure, like I said, I like to stick to one piece of software if I can. But now that I have a camera with the faster download speeds, it definitely opens up me to using the three-star polar alignment over at the Nina plugin. So
yeah,
we'll
I'm thinking if I am going to, really want to give Nina a really fair shot, I'm probably going to end up having to get a mini PC, something that'll be actually closer.
Eagle.
No, I'm not spending that on an Eagle. Because here I have this here. So I have it.
You're gonna want it, man. I'm telling you.
No.
You're gonna get that. You're gonna get that mini PC, and you're gonna be like, I wish I had an Eagle.
If I do, you know what? If I do, I'm gonna have to call Tom and talk to Tom. But because right now I'm using this. If you
what? StarTech. Yeah.
I'm using this. It is a USB extender that you use with a Cat 6 or Cat 5e cable, and it worked much better than that 65-foot USB 3 cable.
Yep.
Because it's going basically over Ethernet, and it's got the so this is the end that goes here at my computer, and I've got the other end has an actual USB 2. It has four USB 2 ports on it on the other side on the remote side, and it's very easy.
Getting legal.
Yeah. So
in 6 months,
Eric,
because you know what he's going to do? He's going to be inside. He's going to say, man, I don't want to go outside. It's freezing cold out here. Wait a minute. The Eagle's got that Wi-Fi. What was I thinking, man? I can go ahead and do that. And plus, it's got all my data connectors. It's got all my power connectors.
There are so many good, honestly. I'm not going to knock the Eagle because there are so many cool things about the Eagle. The one thing that I really, and it's a minute thing on the Eagle. Yeah, it's the money. It's the money, man. Because I got my boss. She's got to, I got to get my allowance from her. But
buy one, buy one, buy one,
I know,
buy
man.
one.
I know, but
I would never sell anybody.
But here's the thing, though, Pete. If I buy once on that, I'm going to be crying because I'm going to end up in divorce court.
And so he's going to be crying for years instead of once.
Everything in life's a sacrifice. You got to give up something to get something. So guess what? You probably got a bunch of scopes there. You got to look at the one that you don't use the most and think, well, you know what?
I already
It's
did,
time
but
to go.
Dave,
And
but
Dan,
Pete, I already did that.
Dan
I did that already.
I sold, you know what? I sold a lot of stuff, and you know, I literally just gave my friend the last payment on that scope, so it's totally paid off. But I'm still waiting on the $1,000 bill from Astrophysics for the flattener, because I still don't have a flattener for that. But I spoke to George over at Astrophysics, and since that I'm using a APS-C, the curvature issues that I may have are going to be fairly small because of the size of the chip. So no way to tell until I take a picture, but you know, I mean, I'm interested to see if that's an accurate. And Jim F, who is a member, Jim Facticelis, I met up with him, and he has that scope, and he has an APS-C, and he doesn't use a flattener. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
What else?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Everything in life, you got to sacrifice. What it depends upon what you got to get. You got to think, well, God, do I do that? Because believe me, I know how you feel, Eric. Trust me, I know how you feel. You try to go around this, and you're going to look at it, but mark my words, I'll guarantee you within 6 months, you're going to say, you know what, guys, you're right. I got to get this friggin' eagle. Because it really is a life changer. And as I said, you go, wow, I should have done this sooner. Like you, I was in that same position. I waited and waited and waited. And then finally I just said, you know what? It's time. I just got to get it. Now, Dan, is that included in the next spin? He's included, right, in the next spin?
Oh, I won't even spin. Just somebody come and take them. This guy, he's a good guy. He's just misunderstood. He's just misunderstood. That's all. He just likes his stuff.
I was looking at a NUC for a little bit.
Sure.
And I don't have any plans to even go towards like a CEM70, because the CEM70, they manufacture a version, the CEM70 NUC, that has a NUC already into it, but I'm not going to go that route. But
I mean, you know, there's a couple of mini PCs out there, like the Minis Forum stuff, and a couple other ones out there. Intel NUCs are really, really good. Actually, there's an Intel NUC in the Eagle. So I mean, you know, so there's stuff that you could do with it. It's just nice to have everything. And then somebody put a post on there that
interesting,
said if you don't buy an Eagle unless you are mounting it on the scope or something like that. It doesn't necessarily, you know, I mount mine on top. I do. I mount mine on top, and I use a clamp that slides on a dovetail, so it's a quick release. So I just sweep it on, sweep it off, and it works really well. And then what you could do, and what I'm going to do, I'm gonna piggyback everything. So it's going to be it's going to go the 130, the Eagle, and then the 80.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to do. I've been bouncing back and forth between side by side and piggyback, and I think I'm just done with the piggyback.
Now there's one here that there was a comment made about the Melee.
Yep.
Dennis mentioned this one, and I was actually looking at it, and they actually mentioned astrophotography in the description. And this one here, an 8 gig with even 512 gigabyte. I think that's 512 gig of storage for $350.
Yep.
You know?
And they're small too. They're not, you know.
They're very small. Yeah.
Yep.
And this one these come pre-installed with Win 11, which I prefer Win 10 right now.
I'll tell you right now, I've been running Windows 11 on my Eagle 4 and
Okay.
my main PC.
Okay.
Haven't had a problem.
Nice. Okay.
That's not a middle finger. That's cross fingers. So.
No, yeah.
But you know,
Hi, Charity, how are you?
you usually I wait a year, but I do have a lot of people. All right, people. Mark
And
Ellis is texting me.
My son, Jackson's computer that I gave him because when I got my new rig, that one has Windows 11 on it. So I did use it before I built my new rig, and I went back to Windows 10 because I just, I prefer Windows 10 because I'm just so used to it, because it's been around for so long. But no, I don't necessarily have a problem with Windows 11. It's just there's some things you just have to learn and navigate because there's a few things that are different. Just have to get used to them.
And so one thing I did, new piece of equipment. If I can lift it up, my arm is so. I tested this out at Cherry Springs on the last week in July, and this is the you may have seen its little brother sitting back here a couple shows ago, the Exos 100. This is the Exos 2. From Explore Scientific. As you can see, the head's pretty light. 26 pounds.
How much is it? 26 pounds. Okay.
26 pounds retails for about $1,000.
Okay. And what's his payload?
26.
Oh, it's 26 pounds. As far as
26 pound
payload.
Okay. What's that?
Okay. And how much is the mount? How much is the headway? How much is that mount?
This?
Yeah.
I don't know. 10 pounds?
That's really light, like 10 pounds. Yeah. Okay.
10 pounds. But it does have the motor bricks here, so you got some serial ports, that you got to deal with. It does have the PMC8, but it's a separate computer that straps onto the leg of the so everything attaches into there. But I had some issues with it in the beginning. I was cursing at Tyler while I was at Cherry Springs, saying, why is my guiding at 45? But got it sorted out and got some decent shots of I got more data of M106 with it. So
nice.
So I'm going to be putting all that together.
Mark, you don't have to worry about it. I'm not getting the CEM70. I was mentioning that because it had the nut added onto it, but I have no plans of going to a 70. I love my 60. 60s. If you can find a 60, you get a 60 and you can hold on to that sucker.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's been the sayings with since the 70 has come out and some of the issues with the 70 that the 60 didn't have. And everyone keeps on saying, I mean, look at what Simon was hunting around the entire world.
Yes,
for a
60. I found him one for
I know
another.
you did.
I found another 60 for him.
I know you did, and he bought it
around all over the place, and he bought it.
Yeah, he bought it. I mean,
So
those center balance mounts are fun.
Yeah, Mark's saying he's having a hard time trying to sell his 70 AG. Yeah. I don't know what it is, Tarek, with the 70, but there's a list of things that's wrong with that thing.
Yeah, just take a look at Cloudy Nights and look at CEM 70 issues. And when you're thumbing through Cloudy Nights, just remember that you gotta look at the people with a lot of posts that know what they're talking about, as opposed to the people that are brand new users that have no idea what they're talking about. So some of those could be user error. But there's been some guiding issues. There's been some gearing issues. There's been a couple of things with the 70 that were not inherent with the 60. The 60 was, even though it was a little bit less payload, it was just a more stable mount. than the 70 is, as far as operation is concerned.
Right.
Hi, Charity. How's it going? Charity, one of our Black Hole members. Thinking about for future for heavy scopes. How heavy, Tarek? How heavy are you looking for? 110 or more? Wait for him to answer. But yeah, so we still got one more giveaway to do. We still got the Optolong 2-inch LPro. And we got to give away this Neptune camera. I can't give this Neptune camera away. 3 people have won it, and nobody wants it.
And everybody's passed it on. No, I have not heard of the same problems with the 120 that the 70 has had. The 120 has been around as long as the 60 has been, and there have not been those problems with the 120.
I just put a 120 in at an observatory in Connecticut. And I don't know, we were talking about it in the prep school in Connecticut that I went up to a couple months back. Yep. I think it was in the early spring. And and let me tell you, everyone was complaining about the weighting of that, or how to balance the 120 or any center balanced mounts in general. That's I'm okay with this stuff, but it's pretty easy. It's not. It's not like It's balancing. I mean, it's not. As long as you got the clutches and everything in the right spot and everything is good, balancing is not a problem.
I have not heard a lot of negative things about this the Sim 120.
No,
not at all. It's a very good observatory grade mount.
I agree. So Tarek, you want 100-pound and lightweight? Just spend the money. Spend the $8,500 and get the Rainbow RST 300.
Yep, spend the money.
Get it.
If you want lightweight, there you go.
I mean, literally, you could take the head in the palm of you, like I was doing with this. And instead of holding 26 pounds, like this one does, you could hold up to 110 pounds on that. Unbelievable.
But it ain't cheap.
Buy once, try once.
Yeah, it ain't cheap. And what is it, like 50 pounds without or 50 pounds without a counterweight? Something like that?
Yeah.
Once you get over a certain percent, then you got to use like a 5-pound counterweight. But still.
Yeah, they're just afraid of the mount flipping.
Very minimal.
Yeah. Just make sure you get a heavy-duty tripod because you're going to be very front-heavy. And you want to make sure you got a heavy-duty tripod counterweight to counterbalance that.
But if you've got a pier, then you don't have to worry about it. If you put that sucker on a pier and it's in the observatory, you're good.
So counterweights aren't required up to 30 kilograms, which is 66 pounds, something like that, 66 to 70 pounds. So you don't need a counterweight. Now, I would probably use one, but
Got the encoder for the RA on the 130 or the 300.
300, yep. I think it's awesome. That's ridiculous.
And I tell you, the one safety feature on that is the safety brake. My God, that's the one feature on that mount that I really like because, boy, if you lose power, you want to make sure that scope isn't going to be
flopping like a dead fish.
Yeah.
It's bouncing off the side of your pier. But I mean, it's amazing. Even the little ZWO, the AM5, has an emergency brake. Some of these harmonic mounts, these 2000 entry level harmonic mounts, don't have a brake. So if you're out in the field and your battery dies, there goes your scope unless you're willing to catch it.
Yep.
So just take a look at that brake for that power failure braking system. You need it. You need it just to be safe.
I tell you though, The AM5, I've heard some really good things about it.
Yeah,
I have heard really good things about that little mount.
I'll take it one step further, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Been selling them for a couple of weeks now. They're all gone. We don't have any. They were all pre-sold. They've all seen stuff in the field already. Not one complaint.
That says
Not
something,
one.
man. That really says something.
So, you know, if you're in that ZWO ecosystem and and you want a harmonic drive, something lightweight that can carry a little bit, again, it's only, what is it? 44 pounds capacity.
Yeah, but I mean,
but it only
I've
weighs
seen
10 pounds.
I've seen TJ use a 9 1/4.
9
his
1/4
full rig
with no
on a 9
counterweights.
1/4 with no counterweights. I have seen an 11-inch, but they set it up for planetary. They did planetary on, no counterweights or any problems like that. I think I've even seen a William Optics 132 FLT 132 on one of them without counterweights, and this is a mighty little mount. Seriously, nothing against Software Abyss, because no pun intended for Software Abyss, but that little mount is strong from what I've heard, from what I've seen so far. So,
and again, you're not going to put a 14-inch Schmidt on there, no. but I'm seeing Mark was just asking, I would like to see what they were putting on them. I said anything from an 80 millimeter. I've seen people up to an 11-inch Schmidt with the counterweights on it. So it's a great mount. It's great. I just hope maybe one of these days Prima Luce comes out with that mount to put on their pier. So that'd be nice. Yeah, so Charity, these AM5 mounts and some of the other ones, some of the other distributors are coming out with them. Ioptron is coming out with one. Pegasus is coming out with one. And they're all based on harmonic strain wave gear systems. And it's a special type of robotic gearing system that allows you to hold a lot more weight and having pretty great accuracy, even though periodic error is a little bit on the high side sometimes, depending on which one you have. But don't let that scare you from these harmonic drives, because as long as you have good guiding, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
Mike just mentioned he's hoping to have his later this month. Is going to replace his AVX. I don't know if Mike, if you knew this, I'm assuming you may have, but you can actually use your AVX tripod.
Yep.
With the AM5, it'll fit. It has the same threaded hole. It has the same thread as the AVX does, so you can mount it right on top of that, which is really, really nice.
That's awesome.
So that way, if you don't want to spend the money on the carbon fiber
tripod,
just use your AVX. So, because I know that's what CJ did, and he used his smaller Celestron tripod, and it works out well.
The beauty about the Wingstrave is at any one time, you're going to have 30% of the teeth engaged, so you're going to have zero backlash. Yep. Whereas with the worm and the gear, you're going to be looking at a very, very small percentage of the teeth engaged. And so that's the real secret with these harmonic drive wave strains. So you're absolutely right. They are going to definitely be the way of the future here for portability.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mike, you did get the fiber, which is fun, because that's really good for, the AM5 is going to be, it's just awesome for traveling and moving around with. I mean, I've seen the whole case. I mean, the carrying case for this thing is ridiculously just small, and you can put in, if you've got the ASI Air, put the ASI Air in there and a few other things. I mean, the thing weighs like less than 10 pounds.
Yeah. And I just put in case anybody's interested about the workings of the strain wave gearing system, I put a general video up there, so feel free to click it. It's like 3 minutes. It gives you an idea of what it actually does and how the flexible gearing system actually works. It's actually pretty cool. But Charity, it's not the ABX plus AM5. What Eric was talking about was the AV as in Victor, the tripod legs for the Celestron AVX will fit the AM5 if you didn't want to get the carbon fiber. If you already have an AVX.
If you already had the AVX, like Mike does, and like I have, you know, and you want to save a little bit of money, and you don't mind taking around the AVX tripod, then you can definitely use the AM5. You can definitely just, you know, you can do that instead of purchasing that carbon fiber if you don't mind lugging around the AVX tripod legs. They're a little heavier, of course, than carbon fiber, but you know, save
and if you don't have it, I mean, I think correct me if I'm wrong. I think the carbon fiber tripod that comes with it is about $400. So
yeah, it's not.
So and if you get really lucky, they do sales and they cut the cost of the tripod back a little bit to give you a sale. So when is the next batch of AM5s coming in? You know what? Call me tomorrow, text me, and I'll let you know. I'll be at the store tomorrow.
Okay, it's getting about that time. You want to do another spin?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's almost 1:45. Yeah, there you go. And we're doing, all right, we're doing the, here you go. Here's the Optolong filter one. And a little bit more names than.
Is this for the LPro?
This is for the 2-inch LPro.
Okay.
2-inch LPro and the lovely Optolong. I'm not sure what year it is, but it's got some cool pictures in it from I don't even know if it's this year because it's all in Chinese, so I didn't even know. But we have 129 people that have wanted to get into this filter giveaway. So we got a lot of people. So let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
There you go. Spin the wheel. No way. Frank Longo. Frank, he's in there somewhere. Now, I don't know if he has one. He may have one. But let me know, Frank. I think he's in there. He was in the chat before. Astro Puppet. But we'll see. So, Frank, congratulations. I can text you right now and tell you won. And if you know what, if you don't want to let me know, I'll respin. I'll text him real quick. You won LPro.
Way to go.
There you go. That's pretty good. Frank, you won my filter. There you go. So I'll find out from him if he wants it. You know, if he doesn't want it. He was in the chat. He might have dropped off, but that's okay.
I just see he posted Astro Puppet. He says, "I do."
What does that mean? You do what? You do want me to respin it, or do you want to take it and sell it somewhere else? It's all yours. So respin. All right, we got a respin.
All right.
All right. There
All
we
right,
go.
then.
Thank you, Frank. We'll close this
All right.
and we'll remove Frank's name from the list so he doesn't win again. Here we go.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. I'll buy you a beer this weekend. Don't worry. Here we go. What do we got? Oh, Scott Cullen missed it by this much, man. Oh my God, that's horrible. Oh wait, we didn't show it. Oh, whoops.
We didn't show it.
Sorry. Well, it's Norm Hughes. Newman won the filter. Scott Cullen is right under him. Just missed it. So unless if Newman wants to respend it, but I think he's gone. I think he went to bed. So sorry, Scott. I feel bad because he literally put on the top and said, "Frank, you won my filter," and he just missed it by one. So can I have a free beer if I request a respin? You can, yeah, but you got to actually win, Charity. Scott wants a respin. Scott wants a respin. So sorry, Scott. I wish I showed it because I could just imagine you biting your fingernails, seeing your name just go. You know. But so we got, who was it? It was it Norm Hughes Newman? I don't even write his real name. Newman LPro. There you go, Newman. Awesome. So yeah, so that's it. So this Friday is the return to the back to basics.
Yes.
Back to basics. We're really we actually before we took our little vacation, we had a nice little powwow and threw a lot of ideas around. And I believe, let's see. Let me see if I can grab it real quick.
Scott, I hear you, man. I hear you. I felt like a Leafs fan in Game 7.
So next, Greg Meyer. Greg showed up. Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
I feel like at least, or you could be like an Islander fan too. It's the same thing. But so next week we're going to be doing like an observing intro.
Okay.
On what you could see in the sky. What does certain like really beginner stuff. So what is light pollution? What is the Boyle scale? What are circumpolar constellations? You know, all that kind of stuff. You know, and we'll talk about little accessories for getting you started.
Getting started. You know, stuff like that. If you don't have a cool camera or anything like that, you just got your DSLR and you just want to just hop in. What are some things you may want to think about? Maybe you want to get your first telescope and you don't have the camera, but you got that DSLR. How do you make that work together? Stuff like that.
Yep.
No, Dan, if I can make a recommendation, let's talk about what asterisms are. Let's talk about.
We can do asterisms.
Let's look at the Big Dipper and then try to find your way around the constellations with the Big Dipper. I mean, if you're talking about finding a way around the heavens, you have to know the constellations as the roadmap. But we got to kind of know using the Big Dipper how we can kind of get to certain points. So we should definitely talk about this kind of stuff that we're getting right back down to basics.
Yeah, we could do like the Big Dipper, the Pointer Stars to the north, the Arc to Arcturus, the Spike to Spica, and we could do all that kind of stuff, with that and try and find. It's funny. I was at a class that I was teaching, and I was teaching them about circumpolar and how kind of things. I got a little techie. I started to get into stuff like precision. and the slow wobble, the 26,000-year wobble of the Earth, and how the North Star is not going to be the North Star anymore. It's going to be actually the next North Star that we have after Polaris is going to be a star called Fomalhaut, which in about 20 or so thousand years, the pole of the Earth will be pointed not at the North Star anymore. It'll be pointed over. So it's be pointed towards Pegasus in that area. And it's going to be interesting.
But what we should talk about also, should we talk about equatorial coordinates? Should we talk about, once again, how many arc, what is a degree? How many arc minutes in a degree? How many arc seconds in an arc minute? We should really kind of talk right about basics so that people can understand that when we throw out terminology about, well, this thing should only be about maybe 2 arc minutes, they kind of get an idea. But I think if you're going to talk about basics, we should really start looking at the coordinate system as well. So I think you got a good point here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put that on the list.
Yeah, and it's a lot. A lot of that, it's there's a lot to go through in there. You can this is like an onion. You can peel a lot of layers. Just getting started and just understanding a lot of different things. So
I mean, we got together that day, and just in that day, we came up with literally, I'm looking at 3 pages of notes of just topic titles. So
yeah, I mean, talk about what really is declination. What is RA? How do you define what the vernal equinox is? What is the winter solstice? I mean, we hear these terms, but does anybody really know what they are? And where do we measure it? Where do we measure 0 hour based upon what is that specific coordinate for vernal equinox? So, I mean, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, absolutely. So we could do constellations and asterisms. Talk about the circumpolar. Talk about what you could see, and talk about the Bortle scale. And I think that'll might be fine.
Yeah, equatorial grid.
Equatorial grid too. Yeah, that's in my notes too. Yep.
And,
cool.
And all the different tools, free, and maybe at some point we'll talk about maybe some of the tools you can utilize to do for some of these things that are free, and some that maybe are not free but not quite expensive, stuff like that you can just use on your phone. I know that there's quite a bit out there just use on your phone.
Yep.
So you can readily have things when you're just outside, maybe in your own backyard, and you're pointing up with that phone, but you don't understand, RA, right ascension and declination, or arc, the arc minutes, arc seconds, and the degrees, all of that stuff. But maybe, with our help, you can, maybe the next time, you go outside in your backyard and you're looking up, you may be able to take some of the knowledge that we're going to share with you, and you say, oh, that's what that means, or this is what that means, and stuff like that. So it should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I got like 3 emails from a customer regarding he gives me updates on his RST 300 like every night. And tell folks a viewer routinely obtains 10-minute guided with 49 pounds on the rig with no weights with the RST 300. So this guy's getting 10-minute shots.
Wow.
I guess he's watching because we were talking about that.
Mike G was asking, I can use any info I can get. And even Gideon was asking, Dan, could you explain why, APP and WBPP generate different results?
It's all about the algorithm, man. You're gonna have to talk to the coders.
That's about the algorithms there.
And don't forget user error, because you never know if you just happen to click one box and then all of a sudden you got uncalibrated flats. And now you're getting this gradient you can't get rid of. So you got to make sure that you got your process down. Once you get your process down, sometimes it comes up with different results. Different programs read things a little bit differently. I know somebody, dropped. I forget. I think it was George. It could have been George. That dropped off some stuff that he did in APP, and he had this weird gradient. And without seeing the process that he did, you're not going to know how that error happened unless you go backwards and do it again.
Right.
You know, that's why when because Sean, I got to say, Sean Nielsen took the data that, because he has access to our drive now, he took the data and ran it through PixInsight and no gradient. It was fine. So it was something to do with the flat calibration in APP that could either have been, it's probably user error at that point because it comes out fine in another program. You know what I mean? So
you know what I'll do is Christian Sassy has done a lot of work with Mabula on APP. I'll reach out to Christian. He'll come back on the show, and we'll have him do a show with actual photographs being processed in APP, so people can see a step-by-step procedure. He'll definitely be more than happy to do that. So I'll get that set up with him for, say, maybe a September date.
That would be great, because I would love to talk to Dr. Sassy about, whatever information or knowledge he can share with us regarding APP, because there's quite a few people who do use it.
Dan, what
a lot of people use it.
What dates do we have available in September that you don't have booked already?
I only have September 16th booked. So
okay, so I'll find out tomorrow and I'll get you an answer. So I'll reach out to him.
Yeah, and I know Mabula, I know he's really busy, working on, because he just kicked out 2.0 beta. Yep. So I know he's going to be really busy. So yeah, Dr. Sassy, if he's available, I think he'd be a great resource, because he works a lot with.
Yeah, and he comes up. He's a really good guy. I know Pete. You know him well, and he'd be happy to come back on again, I'm sure.
So he loves the show. So he'll definitely. I'll reach out to him. We'll get him back on, and I'll reach out to Jeff Dickerman with Optech. I'll have Jeff come on. I'll set us up for September or October with a bunch of guests.
Yep.
We'll start to fill up the Wednesday. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Do you want to just do Wednesdays with guests, or do you want to do Wednesdays and Fridays with guests? I guess depending upon if they're available.
Well, it depends on the guests, and if they want Fridays, the Wednesday. I mean, I'm okay with either night.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, sometimes other guests have other things that they have to do. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So to your point, Dan. Yeah, we can. I'm sure Dan can be flexible, and stuff. And
I'm still waiting to hear from Brian. Don't expect miracles here. So
Dr. May. Yeah.
Although I gotta say, I did make another contact who knows him and is friends with him. Although he is still on tour in Europe with Queen and what's his name? I forgot the new singer's name. But
Lambert.
The new
Lambert, correct? Adam Lambert.
Yeah.
And hopefully when he gets back, I'll throw another line to his booker, and we'll see.
Yeah, it would be crazy if you got Dr. May. No,
I'm trying. I don't want to. I don't want to be. No, I don't want to bomb.
We don't want to jinx this or bomb or anything like that. But just if to imagine, getting him on here. Because not just because, he is Brian May and he's an astrophysicist and everything. It's just, my God.
Oh, looks like Greg has a contact with the drummer in the Adam Lambert band. So come on, Greg, hook us up, man.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we can all get together. But no, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's about that time. I want to get out an image,
Yep. It's cloudy here. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, I know it's a full moon right now, so I'm basically going to be doing testing, and maybe I'll do some narrowband. So.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. Do a little final thought, and then we can go to bed.
Nothing for me. I mean, I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to get outside and do a little bit of work and image and have some fun. So I'm looking forward. I'm glad that we're back to we're getting the band's back together after a couple weeks, and we're getting back to the swing of things. And looking forward to catching up with everybody on Friday again.
Absolutely, Mr. Pete.
Well, it's fun to be back. Missed you guys, but I guess we all need a break every now and then. It's good to see our collective audience. Once again, we just kind of picked up where we left off 2 weeks ago, 31 members, which was kind of exciting. And congratulations to the winners. We've got some great guests that we're going to get lined up. But more importantly, Dan, it's kind of good to kind of see everybody back online. And I trust everybody's all in well. And once again, thanks to our audience for making the show happen. It's very appreciated from our perspective.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's nice to see everybody coming back after a break. Every time you take a break, you get a little nervous where, oh my God, we're only gonna have 3 people watching us. We've been gone for 16 days, but miss the chat, miss the camaraderie. It's but you know what? Our families do make a sacrifice by letting us doing what we do. And it's important to, just like you said before, Pete, sometimes you got to give to get. So, you got to kind of give back to the family and make sure you don't miss out on what's really important. And that's family, friends, and keeping that contact together. So
if I could just add one thing, Dan, is what I'd like to do here, and I think maybe a lot of our audience would like to see us do this again, that we got away from, is remember that they would submit their photos and then we would kind of basically give our personal critique on it. We've kind of gotten away from that, but I've heard people say that they really would like to do this again. I'm thinking maybe let's just pick a day once a month, or maybe twice a month. Let's just take some time, half hour or so, and let's just do that, because I think people kind of like that idea about giving constructive criticism to kind of improve their technique. So if it's okay with you, Eric, I would say let's do that once again.
Okay, so let's.
I agree with you.
You know what we could do, since we have a guest on the 17th, which is next Wednesday. So why don't we do it on the 24th, and we'll make it consistently the 4th Wednesday of the month for every month. We could leave that aside for a critique night.
Yeah, let's just do that.
I think that would be nice.
And Eric, you brought up a good point a couple of weeks ago. Let's throw our images in there maybe once or twice, just to kind of let the audience critique our images. I mean, it'd be kind of nice just to kind of get the view on it. So let's just kind of maybe think about that as well.
Yeah, for sure. We can share with whatever projects that we're working on, and or what we have worked on, and take I'd love to get others' opinions and stuff like that, because trust me, I'm not an expert, on everything. So if other people have suggestions, I'm more than willing to hear them.
So it's kind of like that. The one image that really made me think about this was, remember that IC 1396?
Yeah.
That was that real different purple, black,
the purple elephant trunk. Yeah.
Yeah, the different elephant trunk. Yeah.
Completely different take on it, but I thought, you know what? It was such a great image that I thought, let's just kind of get back into it. So, I mean, audience, please send your photos in, and we'll definitely do this once again.
And you know what? I'm going to throw out another contest out there right now, because I saw it done on a Discord channel, and I think we should do it because I think it'd be really funny. And I'm a funny guy. I think I'm a funny guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm not really that funny, but I think I'm a funny guy. But I say we do the most creatively messed up astrophoto.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the ugliest, but the most kind of messed up picture. Now, I'm not talking about a picture that has bad decon and it was doing it. I'm talking about like a negative kind of crazy, like inverted
palette style.
Crazy like tie-dye stuff and whatever. The most creatively messed up astrophoto.
like an ugly sweater, right? The most ugliest sweater.
Yeah, ugly. You know what? And we'll take. You know what? We'll take the creatively messed up astrophoto, and I'll make a shirt out of it.
There you go. There you go.
And I'll throw it up. I'll throw it up on the website, and I'll give the maker of the picture all the profits from that shirt. So
I like it. Let's do.
Should be interesting.
See, everyone's loving it. Everyone's laughing.
Yeah. That should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to make the show entertaining, so I mean, that's perfect, Dan.
There you go. NGC 7000 and SHH.
Yeah.
That's gonna be funny. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, don't give away your secrets, Al. You might win. Don't give away. You know.
Hey, Dan, maybe what we should do then is we'll set that up for maybe like a month or 2 month contest. So everybody send in that. What we'll do is we'll pick maybe once a week or maybe once a month. We'll pick maybe the top 5, and then after the second month or the third month, however long we want to run that contest, that's what we'll do. Is we'll pick maybe the top 5, and that's what you'll make a shirt with. So we got room to play with. Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's talking about stuff they're doing.
That would be interesting because you do like an NHO or an NHO palette or some craziness.
Because you know what? The idea is we always love looking at great photos, but God, how many photos have we messed up by accident or intentionally? That what? Let's just give some credit where credit's due.
I'm gonna find a way to image in SHIT.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
all right, everybody. No, it's not really off the rails. It's like semi. We got one wheel on the track still. I think we're okay with. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Yeah, and don't forget Friday night, Back to Basics night. And then following Wednesday, we got Molly Wakeling, Astro Molly, coming on. Going to be talking about the James Webb Space Telescope project. It's going to be pretty cool. But it's going to be a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun. She is funny as hell. And then don't forget the following month, we got Nico Carver, and still working on guests for Astropalooza. So I'm working on some stuff. So everybody, have a good night. Thank you for watching. We can't do it without you. Don't forget, if you're not a member on Patreon, go check us out on Patreon. You get swag, you get shirts, all that kind of stuff. And you get to help out the show and all that. So let's see, where is this? Do I have the close on here? Of course not. Where's the close on here? It's been a while since I've done this. Oh yeah, it's on Melon. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's all right, there you go. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Take care. And as always, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you Friday night. Have a good night, everybody.
Take it easy, guys.